This time is gonna work the whole way. So sorry about that. This time it shouldn't be choppy, but we're gonna get into the topic. I'm gonna fix everything as we go. As I said before, as far as the Black Manosphere, I've been listening to stuff for the last 3, 4 days. About the Myron Gaines issue with what's his name? Myron Gaines, angry man. People responded, and the comment came up that the Black Manosphere is dead. So I decided to say, okay, let me just, for one, see what everybody's talking about, and two, if I got to respond to this stuff, I'm gonna respond to this stuff. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the issue. As I said before, first and foremost, the Black Manosphere isn't dead. It's just not profitable. And the reason it's not profitable, basically because it's a shadow banned space. Now, this ain't coming from a person who um, does things, watches from afar. What's going on, Aspiring? Let me know if you can hear me and it's not choppy. So press a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me and it's not choppy, because I done had that issue like twice already. So I think it's fixed. So interestingly enough, what's really going on right now, loud and clear, that's all I need to hear. Thank you. Interestingly enough, what's really going on is this. The Black Manosphere as a space has always been who people would steal material from. All the spaces, white manosphere, people who hate the manosphere, the women who are feminists. And, it was always a space where people stole content from, whether it be the people who are adjacent, says, I'm not like those guys, but I'm going to talk about the exact same thing as those guys. Everybody uses our space for content. And what it is they make more money off of the content that we make than we do. Sometimes because white guys, Asian guys, Hispanic guys, they gravitate to white guys, so they got a bigger audience, right? Because people feel like, oh, that black situation ain't my situation because I ain't like them blacks. But when white guys just steal it verbatim, or when black guys, who are hovering around the Black Manosphere as a space, going in and out, in taking content, all they had to do was change their voice and just start talking, real suburban like, and then they get that whole white, Asian, Hispanic audience too. That's what's going on. So the space, can be looked at as dead because, for one, those guys can't really poach the content that we're doing now. And for two, there's nobody that's that you can consider as huge, right? There isn't a person that's considered this person is the new face of the space. There isn't that anymore, which in some ways is a good thing. But for some of the people who are in the space who felt like, they was going to be the king of the space, it's a bad thing. Because people felt like, when Kevin died, it's my turn. You get what I'm saying? When whoever left, it's my turn. And what wound up happening was nobody actually got that spot. Nobody. So now you're dealing with this concept of you dealing with people who on one end, they can't be the king of the Black Manosphere, and on another end, they can't poach content from the Black Manosphere. So you got this little double-edged thing going on. So now we have a issue. You get what I'm saying? And and I was getting into the thing with Myron specifically talking about Kevin not putting people on. And people who don't know, Kevin went on Fresh and Fit a while ago, in the early stages, and basically when he left, Mine was trying to diss him and figure like, I'm gonna take his spot. We're gonna blow past him. He's a nobody. And he got back to Kevin. That's what happened. So Kevin really didn't rock with him no more. That's what happened. And beyond that part, with the fresh and fit thing, there probably wouldn't be a fresh and fit if it wasn't for Solo TV 84. Because he's the one that introduced him and told him they should probably work together. Because he knew both of them separately. So without Solo's not in the Black Manosphere anymore, but if it was, well, he was in the Black Manosphere at the time he introduced them. So if it wasn't for the Black Manosphere, you probably wouldn't know of a fresh and fit. In all honesty, you get what I'm saying? So now we got issues, and there's a lot of different issues that go in and out of this space that people know about and don't know about. So first and foremost, we got this. Hold up. I'm almost done doing this, trying to fix this stuff up. I know the Black Manosphere is alive and well, but we got to have this this discussion. So there are things that went on internally in the Black Manosphere, and there are things that went on externally outside of the Black Manosphere. So I wouldn't be right if I didn't say what was going on internally. So what was going on in the space was very simple. Egos and jealousy when people started blowing up. That's part of what happened. Every time somebody blew up, somebody became a hater. That's what happened. O'Shea blew up, people started hating. Even Steph is cold blew up, hate. I remember when O'Shea was giving MTR his props because MTR, came out of the gate. He had like 40,000 subscribers in a year. Hate. I remember when Rhyme Wills was in the space. Hate. When Rhyme started doing well, people started hating. BGS, hate. Obsidian really didn't get his flowers because his content. You get what I'm saying? It took Angry Man far too long because he should have blew up earlier than that, but that ain't in our control. When Kevin, like I said, when Kevin blew up, hate. So it became an issue. I think I said when O'Shea blew up, people was hating because that's darn sure fact. But what began as a movement, about men's rights, relationships, Black America, society, the economy, jobs, it evolved into something that people didn't want to see. And the reason I say they didn't want to see, because what happened was, outside of the space, like I said a minute ago, people were just poaching the content. That's all they were doing. So when somebody views this space as dead, it's really because you can't profit off of it anymore. Think about it. Like, seriously. All of the people who are like, the Fresh and Fits, the, even Lil Peep, even Anton. I remember when Mr. Let Go blew up. Ace Metaphor and his whole thing. Even what's the guy's name with the dreads that what is the guy? Mr. Z always talks about him. Dog it. Dark skinned guy with dreads. I forget it. I don't listen to him enough. But he's on the other side. Sorry about that. He said, what do I mean when I say? Okay, well, I'm gonna get to that. What I'm talking about is this. The Fresh and Fits and all of that, a lot of the white guys just in the quote unquote manosphere, some of the black guys in the white manosphere, all they did was listen to somebody in the Black Manosphere and make the exact same video. That's it. And they just threw some dog whistle words in it. That's it. So all the relationship content, you know, the Pookie and Ray Ray, Chads, you know, Chisel Chin Chad, that's just an offshoot of Pookie and Ray Ray. That's just a white version of it. Um, you know, the 304 culture and the cop carousel. That was just, you know, the dead eye stare. All of that stuff that they were saying is just a white version of what the Black Manosphere was saying. The dates, you know, the using people on dates, the guys paying for dates and the girls being just dinner prostitutes, or the feminist part of dating, or the man hating part of dating. Even the whole family court child support thing. It was pretty much somebody made a video about it, or people started talking about it. People saw the numbers in the chat, people saw the numbers in the video, and they made the exact same video, just in their way, just with their tone. That's it. That's all that they were doing. But they had a bigger audience because there's more white people, there's more young white guys, more young Hispanic guys, more young Asian guys combined. You know, FD signified. Thank you, Stat. Like FD signifies like anti-Black Manosphere type of stuff, but it's the same thing. So that's all they were doing. So a lot of times when you guys were listening to people's podcasts and or people's YouTube page and they was making videos, the reason why it was so repetitive because they didn't have their own content. That's why you had the same video over and over and over and over and over again. I feel like a Marshawn Lynch. That's why a guy can make a video every day and say the same exact thing every day. Vincent, where am I right now? I'm at home. What that got to do with what I'm talking about? Can you hear me? Is the question. So the show concepts, they were the same. They were literally the same. You get some men on the panel, you get some women on the panel, you talk relationships. That was when Google had Google Hangouts. You know, predominantly BGS was doing that. Nobody made a Sunday Rumble yet, but it's probably coming. The Brother Pill, that's all O'Shea's creation. You know. Okay. Where we at right? Okay, I got you. Make it clear the first time. But when you hear, you know, and I'm not naming names to diss people. When you hear the Peefs, that's just Diet Black Manosphere. When you hear Poor Man's Podcast, you know, a offshoot of what Black Manosphere been talking about. When you hear all the ladies of Pink Pill, you know, Crimson Q was in the Black Manosphere. Danica Marie, when you hear all of that, that's just, you know, people who around the Black Manosphere. When you hear, excuse me, the Fresh and Fits, that was just around the Black Manosphere. Coach Greg Adams, you know, I don't even know the white guys because I didn't even want to listen to them because I heard enough early on. I said I listened to Rolo a little bit, you know, but Rolo, he had his own thoughts, but at the same time, you know, the struggle part was not part of the white manosphere. You know, they had a racial issue. And let me be clear when I say this. The big difference between the white manosphere and the Black manosphere is this. White men's issues are self-inflicted. So people don't take them as serious because like y'all did this to yourselves. So when Black men talk, it's like it's more of what white America does to the rest of America, which includes white America. But white America is usually late to the party about the effects. So ultimately, when they were talking about stuff, when you really had to dig deep down into situations, they had to use our stuff because white America is basically going down the same track Black America has been on for the last 30, 40 years. They're late to because they've had more safeguards for being white. So when I say people just stealing our content, they're just coming, even though they women are the beginning of feminism, it was a hustle. So now they're getting into the actual single motherhood and turning the kids against the dad and the family court system, throwing them under the bus. Now they're getting their taste of it. The teachers being more catering more to the girls than the boys. It their kids wasn't really on that because the teachers were still catering to them because they was white. So compared to who, you get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by um excuse me. They would just poach everything. So a lot of this stuff, as far as the space, I get it. I get it. The space isn't dead, but like I said, like I tried to say in the beginning, it's not profitable. Being a person who makes content in the Black manosphere is not profitable. And we've seen it, and it's a fact. Every time somebody says, whether they were in the Black manosphere or around the Black manosphere, poaching material off of the Black manosphere, every time somebody says, look, I'm not with them guys over there, their channels grew. It's a fact. As long as you said, I don't associate with them, your channel grew, your views grew, your subscribers grew. Somehow the algorithm found you. You know what I'm saying? Somehow you went from, you know, 10,000 subscribers to 50,000, 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to 300. That's how it works. But the problem with making content, and here's the other issue. The problem with the content is if it's not you, it's fake. But it doesn't matter. Fuck it, what's up? It doesn't matter if it's now. Because ever since ever since COVID happened, people was in the house. And part of the reason why Kevin blew up was because people was in the house, right? And I'm taking this somewhere with the Black Manosphere. Why Kevin's, Kevin caught the perfect storm. Dating show during the pandemic. All the people in the house, everybody needs something to do. They watching the show, everybody looking for love. Cool. But the reason why he was so able to predict what was going to happen and what was going to be said, because that was part of the show before it happened, is because we had been on panels for years having the same conversations. So he knew what people was going to do before they knew what they was going to do. He knew it. It was an unfair advantage. Let's just say it that way. To the point where now, when you see Kendra G's show, she figured it out. Like, these people don't want to get better. They just gonna repeat the same old BS. So the reason why the Black Manosphere isn't dead is because we aren't repetitive. The Black Manosphere isn't repetitive. It's just the new direction, society is going in. Nobody can find a profitable topic right now. See all this relationship, all this relationship stuff. I'm gonna be flat out honest with you. Most of the people that blew up, that's outside of the Black manosphere, they're not even in relationships, and they keep talking about relationships every day. Every day. Let's talk about the 304s. Let's talk about. So what happened is, you know, A lot of people just gravitated to hearing the same thing recycled and regurgitated for their own little ego, or it's their own little television fix. So in essence, people stealing material from the space and actually not living in real life can make the black manosphere look bad because like, oh man, they ain't got nothing new to say. No, it's the fools that stole material all the time ain't got nothing new to say. They ain't even in this space. That's why they have a hard time going elsewhere. Excuse me. So now, you know, now we have this other issue, and this is a bigger issue. Which I will say what's really dead is relationship talk. Because if we want to really be honest about it, most people aren't even trying to be in relationships or even situationships or even hookups. People are getting less and less and less interactive. The political talk is a whole nother, the political talk gets in the middle of, we're going to go from relationships to politics. You can't really, nobody ever puts together what the jump is. The jump is they're both emotional crowds. So now it's like, So now you got this over and over and over and over again. So now people are stuck because the Black Manosphere had a thing where, hey man, why don't you do something? Why show improve? Show me proof that you actually improving. See what happened was that stopped. People showing that they improved stopped. And when people didn't have to show that they actually made improvements in life, everybody could show up and just click on the video and say, I'm better than somebody else. That's pretty much the gist of what's going on right now. But let me back this up. The reason I say the Black Manosphere isn't dead, ain't it interesting? You can see topics from the Black Manosphere on Shannon Sharp's podcast, Cam Newton's podcast, Million Dollar Worth of Game, because it's become profitable. You can see it on talk shows, TV shows, movies. They put it in YouTube skits about it. These are all things that we've talked about ad nauseum. Different things. People forget all the things the Black Manosphere talked about. That let me just remind you. In the Black Manosphere, this is take credit to BGS predominantly predicted the pandemic before it happened. But the Black Manosphere talked to you about the current state of the United States economy and government for years, and now we're at where we're at. People in the Black Manosphere told you to get involved in crypto. Forgot about that part. People in the Black Manosphere told you about men's rights. You forgot about that part. It's okay. This space has also talked to, shout out to Tariq Nasheed. This space talked about reparations years ago. Forgot about that part. See, the overlaying thing was, it was about relationships. Yeah, it was the over. You had to always go back to relationship. Now, the Black Manosphere isn't what it used to be. Absolutely, it's not what it used to be. You know, the other, there was this whole thing where, We're part of 1.0. We're part of 2.0. We're part of 3.0. I say Black Manosphere is in transition right now because there was this issue between the 2.0 and the 3.0. So what honestly I think what needs to happen is at some point somebody from 3.0, I hope a few people from 3.0, I hope y'all blow up. I really do. I really do. So then people go, okay, we could go back to the space. It could be profitable again. Because what it looks like is we're not the quote unquote canaries in the coal mine anymore because we're not as focused on a relationship thing. And you got to take this into consideration. And when I say the people anti, Chrissy blew up. Of course, Cynthia G blew up. You know, um, what's when he said FD Signify blew up. And truth be told, Chrissy was not like anti-black men, black manosphere at first. She wasn't that, but what was Kristen and Karazin blew up, right? And these are all people that the space was at odds, people in the space were at odds with. Here's the thing. I was about to be cold-blooded. Like Umar would say, don't you find it suspicious that all these people who took material from the space were the opposition to the space, were able to actually grow, but the people in the space weren't? And the content that these people either poach or try to debunk constantly to this day, they constantly get views for. Constantly. Constantly. So what happens is, and we're going to have to just be honest about this, the relationship topics are going to stay because relationships are people have relationships in every generation. It's just they're having them less and less right now. What happened is a lot of us in the Black Manosphere, we kind of aging out. That's what's really going on. That's why, part of the relationships to politics thing, a lot of people are aging out. Bro, you've been talking about relationships for 10 years. You was in your 20s and now you're in your 30s. You was in your 30s and now you're in your 40s. And you still talking about the exact same thing. We got a problem here. We got to, it becomes a problem. So when I say the Black Manosphere as a space, it's not really like that. You're not going to find too many people who just going to just relationship. It's not going to be that. But these people outside of it, absolutely. Which one? There was none. None of the people who are outside of the Black Manosphere, whether they be poachers of materials or just anti, ever really benefited the space. No, none of them. None of them. Hate to say it, like the people that was in the space who said they wasn't gonna be in the Black Manosphere no more, they absolutely contributed highly to the space. Obsidian's still in the space. He's just not on YouTube, but Angry Man contributed highly. O'Shea contributed highly. Whether y'all know it or not, Solo TV 84 contributed highly. You get what I'm saying? Kevin, obviously his contribution was high. MTR was like a part of it because I remember MTR got like a Negro Manosphere Award, and that was like 8 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So, because I think he did a video about I ain't in it no more kind of thing. But the people outside, Crimson Cure, she contributed highly. I don't think she's quote unquote in the space anymore, but she contributed. I can't even take Donovan Sharp. He contributed. O'Shea brought him in. He did a bang up job, honestly. But then he went rogue. That's pretty much what happened. He went rogue, and then it's like, okay, what up? Do your thing, though. But what winds up happening is these other people, they're not bringing it, they're not bringing anything new. They're not bringing anything fresh. They're not bringing anything of value. For the most part, they're just trying to debunk us. And then what winds up happening is 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, they wind up looking stupid because what they said isn't working. It's not real. Yeah, he went rogue, but he was always on his own thing. But there's other things in here that people don't want to. It's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. You know, a lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't realize. He said, hold up. Exactly. So Fresh and Fit provide women and no. Let me say this. When it comes to Fresh and Fit's whole setup, Fresh and Fit show was great for people who wanted girls who frequented the nightclubs to be put in their place. Fresh and Fit didn't really talk to women who actually was outside of girls that party and drink a lot. That wasn't like they talked to girls that would go to the nightclubs and be in the nightlife and just feel like I'm pretty. They didn't talk to women that were more sophisticated. They couldn't handle that conversation. So for me, just as a person, I understood why I connected to young men because young men who wanted to go out, these was the girls that was acting like they was too good and turning them down. But just getting on the table and talking to a bunch of club chicks and feeding them drinks and letting them act silly, they wasn't they were getting away from women who you needed a full gamut. You needed the club girl, you needed the college girl, you needed the professional woman, you needed, you know what I'm saying? You needed the housewife, you needed all of that to make your point. They just picked one particular type of girl on a regular basis. That's it. They had one type of chick, just a club chick. They used to say they're a bopper. You know, they got they got better women to talk to in Miami than that. That's the thing. And that's the other thing about the black manosphere in itself. We would challenge guys. See, we as a space, we made sure like, hey, dog, I don't want to hear you. If you dressing bummy every day, stop talking about women. If you ain't got yourself in shape, I don't want to hear it. If you're not working hard, I don't want to hear it. There, it was a challenge. People challenge guys to be better. What happened is a lot of guys wanted to be entertained and they didn't want to be better. So that's what happened. Same thing with the ladies. There are a bunch of ladies who were quote unquote anti-black manosphere type of content. They didn't challenge the women to be better. They just wanted them to be better man haters. And guess what? Them ladies kept tuning in. They kept going to those watching those videos. They kept finding their confirmation bias, and they kept on single. And even those chicks, they left them high and dry. So it's a we're not dealing with the whole truth. Cool, cool. I had to erase the other replays. It's messed up. So now I got to get into something a little bit, a little bit. Whew, I understand why people say the space is dead, though. I understand why people say the Black Manosphere is dead, though. I do. It's not just because it's not profitable. It's also because there's really no viewership in the Black Manosphere. Like, the guys in the Black Manosphere have, as content creators, we know this. If we say it, some people listen. But if somebody else says it, damn near everybody listens. So it's one thing to be copied. You get what I'm saying? To be copied as much as we are. But we understand that people copy us so much, they even understand that, oh, I could tell y'all where I got all this stuff from, but y'all still not going to go to those channels and watch it. So in that aspect, because we're not giving the content thieves the type of material they think that they can use right now, we have a problem. They have a problem, not us, but they have a problem. And you gotta take it all the way there. Y'all don't realize how many some many people, they take this stuff out of context. They don't realize how much was actually done in the last, let's just say, 8 years. Y'all don't think about it. Y'all have no clue. And some of y'all are old, have been watching this stuff for the last 8 years, and it doesn't dawn on y'all. Y'all don't think y'all. A lot of people don't even know what the Coliseum is on BGS channel. A lot of people don't even know what BGS for Women was. You get what I'm saying? There are a lot of people who don't know what the Brother Pill is. There are a lot of people who don't know what the Sunday Rumble is. There are a lot of people who don't know. Oh shoot, when they were doing the tech show, God dog it, the Black Brain Trust. There are a lot of people who don't know that. There are a lot of people who don't know about the masculine mercenaries. There's a lot of people who don't know about those things. So, like, gee, they don't know they don't know about the Google Hangouts. They don't know about the first StreamYards. They don't know about those things. They don't know about, a lot of y'all don't even remember about Kevin's fragrances channel. Y'all don't even remember that. Yeah, right. People got their money from that time and moved on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of guys, and it's a reason why those guys disown the Black Manosphere. I'm telling you now. A lot of guys. It was one or two things why it could have been. There were people who said I'm not in the Black Manosphere anymore because they were underappreciated. There are people who disowned it because they got shadow banned for being in it, and there were people who disowned it because it wasn't profitable to be in it. And sometimes it was a mix of all of those things, or a couple of those things. So we have to put this completely in perspective. Like, a lot of times, let me say this. There are guys in the Black Manosphere who got something invested because of how it started. Most people don't even know how the Black Manosphere actually came to be with the people that were in it. Basically, there was a bunch of Black content creators, Black men specifically. It was few ladies, but it's Black men specifically that they put that a Black woman put a hit list on to basically get all our channels flagged. And she made multiple lists. So that's how the brothers got together. You know, they didn't want to be associated with the country. Right. there wasn't any, there wasn't really people who gave this space. Okay, I get it. I get it, Ray. Let me see. Obsidian's name was hot, could make your block hot at a time. You know, Angry Man was beefing with people, but that's not really a big thing. O'Shea was beefing with people, but that wasn't really a big thing. Um, I can't. I mean, and those are the top guys. So being around them would helped you more than it hurt you. You know. No, yeah, yeah. The Manosphere predates the. Yeah, yeah. The Aaron Fountain's list came maybe 3, 4 years later. It was a completely different list. You know. So that's a whole nother aspect. But no, oh, thank you for saying it. Let me back this up for Ray. There were people who weren't actually content creators in the Black Manosphere who would come on Black Manosphere content just to make the block hot and to disrupt what was going on. Okay, so they were people like that though. They're not. I don't think they're here now though. People will come on a regular basis, just come on to be contrarians, come on just to be over the top, come on just to be crazy. They would do that. You know, they would do that. And he said the look like there's a couple of lawyers. Dennis Sperling. So shout out to Dennis. He cool. He good people. um, and lead attorney was around the space like around when Kevin was alive. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that y'all need to know. There were people like lead attorney. Um, I think there were people like that who got dope channels. That people that were in the Black Manosphere, whether they were in it or whether they were leaving, would tell people don't get in that space because it was, for one, it was shadow banned, and for two, because there were people who would be hating. So I ain't gonna, we're not gonna sugarcoat nothing on that. You know, no, there wasn't a lot of behind the scenes scheming back in the day. That's the thing. It wasn't really like there were more people. There are more people recreating a new shut GBL. What's up? There were more people who recreating a new past that wasn't there. I'm gonna just be honest with you. That's the truth of it. You got to understand the Black Manosphere was around before YouTube was monetizing videos. So everything started actually. So everything really started happening when people figured out that they could make a good amount of money on YouTube. You said the Manosphere. No, that's an issue now that we don't want to address sometimes. The vast majority. Let me tell you something. BGS, Obsidian, O'Shea, Angry Man, and myself. Um, just that was in the Black Manosphere. We were making videos before they were monetized, before YouTube ever started paying people. So that's one. Let's just be honest about this. You get what I'm saying? Sergeant Willie Pete was making videos before you could be monetized. Um, so when money came into play, you're talking about people who were doing this before money was a thing. So some of these guys don't feel appreciated because some people, thank you, Alan Roger Curry, David Kerr, was doing this stuff before money was even on the table. SWP was in a there wasn't a such thing as the Black Manosphere when SWP was making videos. He was making videos before there was a such thing as the Black Manosphere. They had but that's when people say it was a 1.0. That's what they're talking about. SWP, Pink Elephant, I forgot a guy. There's a few guys. Don Calypso. It was a bunch of guys prior to what we call the Black Manosphere that y'all know of. You know, you don't know about the Black Manosphere members. That's my point. Black Manosphere. This had you do not. Who was here 10 years ago? I'm telling you who was here 10 years ago. I'm telling you who was here 12 years ago. I'm telling you who was here right after YouTube started, was public. This has happened, before Sergeant Willie Pete and them was here before Tommy Sotomayor was here. There was a bunch of people. So a lot of this stuff, like I said, is revisionist history. But I understand it's revisionist history because a lot of y'all don't actually know it. A lot of people came here, they followed a particular content creator that was in the space. They followed a particular content creator and they went with that. You said they all moved on. So what? Were they here or not? Answer that question. Were they here or not? Thug Titian, thank you. Soul and Black, all of them. I talked about Rom earlier. Rom was in the Black Manosphere and somebody was hating on Rom to the point where he said, I ain't got to be in this no more. And people wasn't rocking with the guy that was hating on Rom. Just because you here now does not over. So because you here now, you get to overlook everything that came before you. Right. He said he started when Tommy was in the basement. Tommy's not, Tommy became a juggernaut on his own from in the basement in Atlanta, just like FBA. Do you remember? Boy, I bet you don't. Anyway. Okay, you're not leaving. You've been here. Congratulations. But Tommy was Tommy was a juggernaut, just like Phil the Advice show. See, let me rewind this back for you. Let me rewind this back for you. Just yeah, you found Pink Elephant late. Yeah, it was years ago. When I said it was a hit list, I forget who. I think it was Brooklyn Blue or something like that. I think it was something like that. So this young lady, it was like 50 guys, right? That she wanted to complain to YouTube to shut our channels down. So the first list was one thing. I wasn't on the first list. Second list, third list, I was on. So what winds up happening was, what happened was Tommy was number one. I want to say Obsidian was number two. O'Shea was number three. And then the vast majority of the guys in the Black Manosphere now, was on, except for Kevin, because Kevin wasn't in the space then. BGS, there's a bunch of people, and then people who like the Advice show was on it. He's not in the Black Manosphere, right? Mr. Superboy 223 was on it. I want to say Torian Rain was on it. It was just a weird list, but a group of us guys, Jap was on it for sure. But a group of us guys decided we was gonna click up to make sure if one of us went, not one of us was just gonna go down. That's how you got the Black Manosphere. All right, that's how you got it. So just for the record, you got it from Black men uniting, from Black men not wanting to be shut down. That's how you got it. What up, Shark? So that's how you got it. So now what happens is we're doing this prior to money. And then, and I'll never forget this. You don't, I ain't talking to you specifically though. Here you go. You just, you right. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? BG, you said Gen X really kicked out. No, no. I'm gonna tell you, like the Black Manosphere was actually boomers, X, and millennials. That literally, literally, it was a hodgepodge. And you could say it was more people in Gen X. I ain't too, but it was boomers, X's, and millennials. You got that. That's the truth. Yeah, Torian was on it. Torian Rain was on it. When Soul and Black and all them was on it. Professor Black, not Professor Black Truth, but Jason Black, I think, was on it because Jason Black used to be on Tommy Sotomayor's channel. You know, no, yeah, I'm thinking about that, Shark. No, Superboy and Torian wasn't part of the Manosphere. They were part of the hit list that created the Black Manosphere. It was a hit list. They were on it too. Some people just did their own thing, and other people grouped up. You know, and it's unfortunate. I don't think Superboy got a channel now because something happened. He flagged his. He had a great channel. You know, so a lot of what's going on now, it's supposed to be the passing of the guard, really. But society changed. That's generally what's going on. Society has changed on everybody. So y'all don't get it sometimes, but you wouldn't have a Black Manosphere. It wouldn't be as vast as it is without key people. Key people. You wouldn't have a Black Manosphere without BGS, O'Shea, Obsidian, Angry Man. That's a fact. The Black Manosphere you know of today, it's a fact. You wouldn't have it without them. So everybody that you know of now, the Dr. T's, the Ron O'Neills, the Green Gorillas, Kevin Samuels, they wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? You got it. And Edward Anderson, you wouldn't know you wouldn't know Crimson Cure, Grinch. It's all affiliated with one or the other of them. Some of y'all wouldn't have jobs in tech if it wasn't for the people who were in the Black Manosphere that brought people that got people like Theo Wife and whatnot in this space. Y'all better get it. Y'all don't. So is it dead? No, it's evolved. I remember when O'Shea was bringing the guys who were truckers into the Black Manosphere. So some of you guys became truckers after the fact, but he got a lot of truckers in this space because they was listening to the Black Manosphere and Black Manosphere content on the road. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff, is it dead? No, it's evolved, but it's not profitable. Shout out to Steph Cole. He was, he was one of the first young guys to blow up. And be honest with you, people hated on Steph because he was making money. He was a young brother making money. So he was one of the people like, I ain't got time for this. Shout out to Steph. And how do I know people? Whether y'all know it, King Richards. King Richards was always in the Black Manosphere. He was just because he lived like in Carolina or something at the time. Well, how y'all think? So that whole UK thing that comes off, the whole UK and the UK's topics, even just Pearly going over there, that's really just an offshoot of the Black Manosphere, man. Just for the record. Just so you know. Yeah, Dr. T, my bad. Cause see, a lot of y'all don't realize how many people used to be on panels. We're not as united as we once were because of all of the beef and from ego, money, jealousy. That's literally what happened. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. The truth of it is, what wound up happening was, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I said like the white manosphere was stealing content, they were, they were stealing content. That's all. They took a lot of content from us. But all the people that was like offshoots of the black manosphere stealing content, the issue became even like when Kevin was alive. I think what happens is when people take content from when we're in the space and we take something from each other, I think it hurts more. Because let's just be honest. Everybody, let them cook, let them cook. Y'all ain't giving Jap credit for talking about cooking, just for the record. The whole world talking about cooking people, but Jap don't get nobody references Jap at all. That's trifling. That's why I don't even like saying the word cook, because like, no, Jap made something worldwide and don't nobody know Jap did it. And then you wonder why people leave the space. See what I'm saying? This is what this is about. You know, this is what this is about. Is it, you know, right. So the same thing with the whole because a lot of y'all don't even know this. One of the things that started early is BGS. You know, BGS. I think I don't think I know. BGS was was more inclusive in the beginning because he was because, but the white guys' racism just turned him off. He's like, I ain't got to mess with you guys. He kept a channel just talking. You know, that's why it became Ibmore. From BGS Black Noxic Speaks to Ibmore to BGS Ibmore because the white guys just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They had an issue. And a lot of us in the beginning, we didn't F with it. See, a lot of y'all don't even know, like when the 21 convention was going on, I'm gonna tell y'all one of the biggest issues. When O'Shea was in medical school, I remember the 21 convention wanted O'Shea to do it with him. And he went off like, nope, I ain't rocking with y'all, because what they tried to do was have a couple of black guys talk about, the black relationships at the 21 convention, but the black guys they had all dated white women. And it was just like, man, I ain't getting involved in that. Y'all think y'all slick. Because they just needed some black guys because they needed to have a black friend to post content off of. You know, the alt-right manosphere. That's hilarious. But let me take this a step further. You know, let me take this a step further. The time like people forget. You know, damn about Tommy Sotomayor. He looked up to Tom Likas. That's kind of what his show came from, like Tom Likas and was it Rush Limbaugh? I want to say that's why Tommy has the political views he has. I want to say it's Tom Likas and Rush Limbaugh. That he was highly influenced by them. He just did it his way. You know, when I'm you know y'all know who Barbarossa is. Barbarossa was one of their people that they followed heavily until they found out Barbarossa was like mixed. Like, oh, he's a nigger. And then it became a, they clowned the guy. You know, he said, it ain't no ship going down, Black Manosphere. But that's the point. But what's the difference between, okay, I got to watch my shoulder because of my dog. Let me slow down. The Black Manosphere has always been ahead of the curve. So what happens is, because the Black Manosphere is ahead of the curve, people got to catch up to what we're talking about. And just like I said, just like the canary in the coal mine thing, we're so ahead of the curve that people are behind. People are still on, exactly. I know BGS, we still are. Like people are still on what Kevin talked about when Kevin was passing. They haven't gone past that yet. That's why people like Kendrick G could just be on what she's on. It's easy. Passport OG, man, appreciate you. That was a whole thing. Pookie and Ray, the educated lane thing. That was a whole thing, though. But see, if you think about it, we've been past that. We've been past that. How many times have people talked about crypto in this space? How many times have people talked about the global economy in this space? How many times have people talked about, excuse me, the debt of America's $37 trillion debt and counting? We was talking about it when it was in the teens and 20s. See, no. My dog is over here wanting some attention, so excuse me. So what it is why you think, like we told y'all a long time ago, hey man, the price of everything finna go up. The rent finna go up. We no, give me this. No, go. We told y'all the rent was gonna go up. Y'all didn't want to hear that. We told y'all the dating market was gonna be messed up because of the prices, of rent and food and everything else. Go, boo boo, go. I gotta get my dog out the way. He want to play. we told y'all when the prices of gas was going up. So we've been warning y'all how America, the fall of the quote unquote American empire. We didn't talk to y'all about this thing the whole time. But what happened was y'all still was stuck on relationship talk. That's what y'all still stuck on relationship talk. And when we told y'all, hey man, y'all need to worry about something else right now, y'all don't want to hear it because relationship talk is entertaining. And that's the reality of it. That's why like the balloon pop show, it's entertaining. Oh, I don't like you. I don't never like you. You got nobody gives it. Nobody cares. Even Kevin, before he was dying, what he was talking about, laying flat, quiet, quitting. You get what I'm saying? So, is it dead? Absolutely not. No, it's not dead. But it's just y'all don't want to hear it. But guess what's gonna happen? By the time the summer hit and the gas prices go from $3 to $7 a gallon, and the food go up, and so many people get evicted. Oh, y'all gonna start talking about the same stuff, and the same people that y'all like watching, who like, oh man, I don't know about the Black Manosphere, this. Y'all, they gonna go right back to the stuff we've been talking about and say it again, and they just gonna do it the same way. The quiet quitting gonna be 304. Pookie and Ray is gonna be the price of whatever. It's like y'all don't. It doesn't click to y'all yet because y'all haven't seen this, but we've been in it. What do you think we talk about with the younger generations, like not having jobs and whatnot? Wait, what? Yeah, ain't nobody worried about him. BGS is ain't never been a hater, but ain't nobody worried about these fools, man. You know. Uh, Mm. If you in the Black Manosphere, you can't talk. Okay, Black Manosphere. Let me ask you a real question. Real question. Of all the people I've mentioned that was in the Black Manosphere, where you see yourself on that list? Dead serious. Dead serious. Even the people that left, where you see yourself on that list, fam? You 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 think you're on par with BGS? You at the top? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know how many brothers in Kane? You know it for a fact. You're not. This space don't have a leader. You're not. You're not the leader. And I can say that, and I can say that confidently, because you ain't even above me in this space. And that's a fact. And, and you can look at my subscribership. I ain't big at all. And that's what I meant earlier when I said ego got in the way. Some of you guys came up with y'all egos was tripping. You know, it, what's with all the rank? It ain't a rank. The rank is a reason. It's a reason for what I'm saying. You ain't been through half of the stuff we've been through. You don't know, you didn't know a third of the stuff I was talking about. But it's about you. It ain't about you. This space ain't about, this space gonna be here if the people in it are here, and when people leave this space, the space gonna still be here. Give me this. Give it here. Go. No, go. Get. You're getting on my nerves. Hold up. Don't get us twisted, man. Do we have love for everybody? Absolutely. Do we appreciate everybody? Absolutely. But don't you ever let your ego think you running something around here. Because you not. You not. Exactly. People have lost their careers behind this. People that got flagged. People's personal lives got messed up behind this stuff. Just to give some of you brothers a message, and some of y'all motherfuckers are ungrateful, to be perfectly honest. That's what it is. So some of the brothers that left and said they ain't a part of the space no more, they don't owe y'all nothing. They don't owe y'all nothing. You ain't got as much equity in the table as you think you got up in here. You tripping. No. Your ego too much, bro. Too much. I'm talking about the Black Manosphere ain't dead. You talking about your damn self. That's a problem. That's some op behavior right there. It ain't about you. It never was about you. You better chill that shit out, man. But getting back to the actual topic, when people catch up to what we talking about in this space, y'all will get it. I remember BGS talking about how Hillary Clinton wasn't gonna win the White House and she was gonna lose to Trump. I remember that. But see, a lot. What happens with YouTube content in particular, especially with the Black Manosphere, and I'm gonna say this: a person who watches content doesn't have the same approach as a person who creates content. Cool, you got it, Shark. Appreciate it. uh, that's two different things. See, some of y'all don't really like y'all wasn't around here when YouTube used to let you know who was watching you. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go back a little bit when I say stealing content. I brought up Harvey Superboy 223, Torian Rain. And they could talk about this. Superboy, I don't think he on here no more, but I wish he was. Um, a lot of the political views y'all would see, especially from the Young Turks, they would watch a lot of black content creators' content and regurgitate what the black people would say. Yank Yuga, Anna, but they had a black dude there, but he was never saying it. And you're like, where are they getting this stuff from? And people like Superboy 223 was like, yeah, I see they subscribe to my channel, they watching my channel. They saying my exact same thing. He on Rumble now? Good. Shout out to Harvey, man. I ain't got Rumble, but shout out to Harvey. You know, appreciate you, Eric, man. My bad. But y'all don't hear this. So when I say the same thing about like these other spaces, you know, poaching content from the Black Manosphere, this has been a long thing on YouTube. This ain't been nothing new. All right. That's what people do. That's what people have done. They take what you say and they say it again. Right. I know. They had banned them for a minute. That's what I've been talking about earlier, Eric. I'm just saying that's why the space isn't dead. Too many people still out content. No, but let me put the nail in the coffin of what this one knows. The first thing was the first thing is they were stealing the content. Why people really hate the Black Manosphere is because they can't actually debunk the content. It's a reason why what we said 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago is still current today. Because everybody who swore to God that they was right, they dead wrong. Every point that brothers was making back then was telling you what was going on in society, and y'all said we was wrong about. You do realize the space knew, even talked about Derek Jackson, like, boy, the dude faking. That boy faking. Same thing with Ace Metaphor. That boy faking. You know. So now we're at this space where people, Cynthia G, she tried it. She was wrong. Chrissy tried it. She was wrong. Pink Pill tried it. Kristen Carlson tried it. I believe y'all now. I get it now. Only took 5-7 years. You get what I'm saying? All these other guys who were saying, even Dr. Umar, he be vacillating back and forth like, and for some of y'all who don't know this, the Black Manosphere would defend Dr. Umar back in the day because, he was getting attacked by so many people for really not saying too much. And we really went in when Roland Martin had that show when Obama was the president, and they set him up. But see, his first thing was, after that he turned on us like, you know, and, shout out to O'Shea for the brother pill though. Me and O'Shea always gonna be cool. Yeah, that's one just for the. I will say this, as far as me being in the Black Manosphere with the people I know, I'm never gonna be not cool with the people. Of course, I got love for O'Shea. I still talk to Solo on a regular basis. I talk to Edward Anderson on a regular basis. You get what I'm saying? I haven't talked to Grinch in a while, but I got love for Grinch. I really don't. I don't even though I'm cool with O'Shea, and that's my dog. I don't have a hatred towards Angry Man because I don't really don't know Angry Man. You know what I'm saying? I know him as a content creator, but when we did content, he was cool. But it's like, I ain't got to Obsidian. Salute to him. I was happy for him when his book was a bestseller. He got another book out, matter of fact. when Ron was doing lectures, I went with him and C Boogie. I need to go to C Boogie. Dang, C Boogie out here in Houston, and I ain't been by his business yet. So and even though people don't like C Boogie at the time, that ain't the point. I still got to support that brother at least once. I'm bugging for that. So C Boogie, if you listening, at some point I'm coming by there, dog. My apologies. I've been busy, but no excuses. You get what I'm saying? So for the most part, I rock with people. I still believe people united. You know, if I ain't say BJS, everybody should know I got mad respect for BJS. It's not even a thing. You know, I still, if y'all want to know, I still send people in the Manosphere stuff like, hey, do this, do this, do this. The last of the chicken, it, man, forget Roland Martin. But shout out to Jeff. I never spoke to Jeff. I had Kevin's number. I talked to Kevin a few times. But I told Kevin just like everybody else, I don't talk on the phone a lot. I don't call people a lot. I don't say I'm not a. I don't call people a lot. That's not my thing. But I used to send Kevin messages from time. Hey, you're doing good. Da 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 da. So a lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but the space is always going to be here because everybody else need this space. Just for the record. So when you're gonna see people, and I'm responding, but you're gonna see people antagonizing this space because they need this space. They're not gonna eat without it. And that's a fact. That's just the reality of it. Most of the content that y'all see that people making, you know, even Boyce Watkins, he used to just do anti-black manosphere type stuff. But he's like that. He's like that with other people. People used to get on him like, oh, because of the women that he would have on, try to prop them up. They would do anti-black manosphere type stuff, but he would stab them in the back, and then they'll see. So a lot of times at the end of the day, you know, O'Shea used to say this, and it rings true. Content is king. This space has produced far more content as a space, whether you want to go per capita or whatever, but just in general, we've produced more content that's constantly talked about and used to this day than any space on YouTube. Any space. You know, I would say except for mainstream media, except for news channels. But pretty much everything this space talked about is all in the whole YouTube universe at one point or another. You're gonna see it everywhere. You know, so even if people believe the space is dead, the content that we create ain't dead. It constantly keeps popping up. Constantly. And you know who I'm gonna use as a reference? And some of y'all don't know this. With Nicole Michelle. I remember when when women were doing the femininity coaching thing, right? I remember when the women were doing that. And Nicole Michelle came to the Black Manosphere to have conversations with us, and we gave her some information. She was like, "What the?" She said, "What is this?" But it made her step back, and she reevaluated the approach of how she was going to teach femininity to women. I never forget that. And at the time, you had like April Mason, you had a few other ladies who were on the internet teaching femininity and all that other stuff. And I never forget. Oh man, I do that. Rebecca Lynn Pope, yeah. Rebecca Lynn Pope. You had, and it was a few other people though. They had all talked about, they got tired of helping women and quitting doing that. And I remember for a fact, Nicole they got on Nicole in particular because they're like, you talking all this stuff about marriage, you ain't got no man. Nicole, the only one that got married out of all them people. Using the very same, and she said it then. Once she started tweaking her stuff, she said, I'm gonna use the very same thing that I'm telling y'all to do and watch what happened. And she got married. The ladies didn't. And that's what and in that essence, that's like the Black Manosphere. We be telling y'all stuff, y'all want to say whatever y'all want to say. But in the end, somehow what we say work. You know, I do it. Great Black Shark said, you know what, I'm gonna put it up here. I ain't even being humble. I'll be forgetting, bro. You know, so for y'all, I got actually 2 albums in my playlist. So sometimes people hit me up about the songs when I do the outros and the intros, and I actually made music. L.A.R is actually a group name, me and my homeboy who's the producer. So if you want music, it's in my playlist. Saga of the Kryptonite Life 1, and the other one is actually L.A.R. You know, and I ain't that bad. Yeah, Crimson Cure got married too. So ultimately, man, with this, you know, before Kevin passed, he was talking about how he had this group and people got married out of that. See, a lot of what's going on is because you know I heard the thing Myron, Kevin didn't put nobody on, but like I said, Myron was doing things like he was doing snakish things. You don't put on snakes. That's just you don't do. That's just something you don't do. But on top of that, and let me back this up. Hold up, I gotta back this up. Do y'all really know how many people the Black Manosphere actually put on? Like let's rewind the tape. Think about how many people the Black Manosphere actually put on. I just told you earlier they wouldn't have been a fresh and fit. Mo, what up? That's my partner right there. You know, but y'all don't realize, like I said earlier, they wouldn't have been a fresh and fit without Solo TV 84. And I said it earlier, and that's a fact. That's not conjecture. That's not. And people go, "Who is that?" I know y'all don't know who Solo is because y'all ain't been around in a while. Solo left years ago, but Solo introduced Myron and Walter together because he knew both of them separately. Solo was one of the first people to pump Steph's Cole out. Honestly, you know, and I get it. Like people, sometimes people was tripping with Solo because he was spazzed out. Like he didn't feel like he was getting the love. And I get that. I get that. BGS. Between Dr. T, Ron O'Neal, Green Gorilla. Y'all don't even. I don't think y'all remember Char Willie. She ran the women's channel. Char Willie's cool. She cool, man. Uh, Sister George and Concrete Rose. Ooh, sometimes they will go rogue, but that Edward Anderson, Obsidian, man. Y'all know O'Shea put on a gang of. You could actually say O'Shea put me on, and I started before O'Shea. I wouldn't have got as much exposure probably if it wasn't for O'Shea, because me and him would do the brother pill all the time. Like it's a gang of people. Like y'all don't realize, man. These people put a lot of people. This space put on so many people. George, shout out to George, man. Get to 100%. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Philly. You know, George Macon. But y'all forget about that. Y'all forget the Black Brain Trust. Y'all forget shoot. Ooh, I just thought about that. Donovan in some way. Donovan Sharp in some ways. Y'all forget about all of that. Even Super Sly contrarian behind. Y'all forget all the people that came through. Because even he said, he brought Kevin in sometime. I don't know, but I know it's between him and O'Shea and BGS. I know that for sure. Angry Man. Angry Man is really, I think Kendra came in on her own, but her and Angry Man really linked up. So you could say Angry Man and Kendra, however you slice it, she blew up first, but she was part of his team. This space actually just, we used to rock with ABL. Ain't no, people. This space did a lot with a lot of different people. They were content with Cynthia G. Truth be told, if y'all don't even know Chrissy's channel, the person who actually promoted Chrissy in the beginning was SWP. Sergeant Willie Pete really was pushing Chrissy in the beginning. And he's now, quote unquote, in the Black Manosphere, quote unquote, 2.0. But I'd never forget he was the one pushing her in the beginning. You get what I'm saying? So this space has done a lot for a lot of different people. Push MTR. David Carroll was his own thing. Cerulean, yeah. So it's like, man, y'all don't, it's not what it used to be. That's what it is. The Black Manosphere today is not what it used to be. Things change. Deal with it. That's a fact. Things change. You got to deal with it. But I guarantee you one thing. If the Black Manosphere is still being shadow banned, that means it still got some hitters. That's a fact. Because if this space was dead, it's like I get like people like Angry Man, Media MTR, O'Shea. It's other people that left. Donovan Sharp, all the people who quote unquote just moved. Even Steph. Shout out to Steph. I got love for Steph. I ain't talked to him in a minute, but I got love for Steph. They've moved away from the space. Rom, shout out to Rom. Pimp. I forgot about that. I really forgot about one. My bad. I'm sorry. Pimp God. I have my issues, y'all. It's a lot of people, dog. Charles Faulkner, it's a lot of people. But at the end of the day, a lot of them, oh yeah. BOA, yeah, he's still around. BOA still around. Black Ram, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this stuff, bro. It's because people haven't. The people who have blown up, all of them deserve it. All the people in the Black Manosphere who's blown up, they all deserve it. They put it, even when people say I ain't in it no more, they still deserve it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They put in too much work to not deserve it. Harvey's not in the Black Manosphere, but shout out to Superboy. So, because one thing, no, Tyreek has always been his own thing. Tyreek is kind of like, I think Tyreek predates even Tommy Sotomayor with the relationship podcast. I want to say Tyreek is like the first, actually, with the podcast part of it. I want to say it's Tyreek first. But I could be wrong, but I think so. Tyreek is, this space is not actually a hater space. It's just people have hated when people blew up. But this is not a hater space. Because people have made so much content, the issue has become over the years, people have been overlooked to have great content. Keep It Techie has great content. He's been overlooked. Yeah, Jada Black, he's like, I ain't with you guys, and that's part of, but he does the same content. He just does it in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So as a Black Manosphere, is it dead? Nah, it's not what it used to be. And it's okay. Like a lot of times, y'all people, and let me be honest with y'all, a lot of times people just beefing for views. People just kicking up dust for views. That's real talk. Like, so at the end of the day, man, and don't get it twisted. Like we can get at people, but yeah, man. But yeah, yeah. Like see that's one person. I gotta admit, fam, I'm never going. Me and Ringo are never. Mm-mm. Ringo used to be used. I haven't watched Ringo in years because me and Ringo got into it. You know, Ringo used to get on, make videos, and disappear for a while and come back. And he used to have this thing where he'd troll people and diss people to get popping, to get rolling again. And he did that with me one time, and he told me if he see me, he'll shoot me. So trust me. And I told him, bro, if I ever see you, I'm gonna step on you. So I get what you're saying about Ringo, but I don't rock with that dude at all. You know, Saint the Sinner is just an offshoot of the Black Manosphere. He's just offshoot of that. Anton is an offshoot of the Black Manosphere. Tito, yeah, but Tito it was Tito in it, yes. But people didn't know about Tito's background, and when that came out, it threw a monkey wrench in it. You know what I'm saying? So we got some people that people are skeptical of. I definitely agree. But I don't think Tito on here no more. You know. Yeah, man. I ain't worried. Trust me, GBS, I ain't worried about him. The people that know me know at this particular point, I'm 45. I still spar like I'm sparring like every week. So it's like I'm always active, you know. But it is what it is. People think if you ever see me and it's gonna go, if you think it's gonna go your way, congratulations. I appreciate it. We finna see. I ain't gonna. I don't have a problem with confrontation. That's why I'm so chill because I'm like, okay, we can just get active whenever. But this idea that well, you know what? I'm gonna have to get active and say this. I don't really take what Myron from Fresh and Fit says seriously because he's crashed out. He crashed out his own platform. He for whatever reason he did it. He crashed out. So he's grasping that stuff because he went full whatever. He had the he crashed out on us as black people. He crashed out on you know you said Jewish people. He crashed out on Muslims. He crashed out on everybody. And he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. So when it comes to him saying stuff, yeah, you know, he want to drag people down with him. And if him and Angry Man keep hanging out, that's cool. But you know, just don't let him crash out your platform and get you banned. That's all. That's all. A Crazy 100 shout out to Crazy. Him and. But I mean, I ain't gonna front a Crazy. Him and David Carroll used to kind of be, they had a little white supremacy in them. Great content, but it's like, see, I don't forget when people was having fried chicken and monkeys, but I've been in some questionable situations online too, so I ain't innocent, you know. Yeah, so yeah, it's just I think this space is more polished than it was. Because looking back at it, I can judge people, but I've done some wild stuff too. I done been drunk on this mug wilding out before. Yeah. I done been on panels saying some outlandish stuff. So we're not that anymore, though. I can say that. But definitely some outlandish stuff didn't happen. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I ain't know I've been on here an hour and a half, man. More people gonna probably come out with stuff. So at the end of the day, man, this space ain't gonna be dead. It ain't gonna die. You know, hopefully the people from 3.0 take it to another stratosphere. You know, you might see less of people like me. I don't know. You know, because we going in a different direction. But it is what it is. I ain't, Seneca, what's up? I ain't gonna tell him about that book. You know what? I will. Give me some time, folks. I wrote a book called Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father, and I wanted to update it. But what I'm gonna do on my page is I'm gonna update it in videos. So I'm gonna have an updated point of view in videos. It's gonna be a whole playlist on its own. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole for guys who have to deal with the family court system and parental alienation and even having custody. So because I had all that stuff going on. So I'm gonna update it, and when it happens, I hope it helps somebody. So other than that, yeah, now I get to shut it down on that. Y'all check me on the next time, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
You know what? I do this,
Spoken from the lips of the young or the old, bear of me.
Yeah, gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cake through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I talk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke. Then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.